Hello, and thanks for watching the June PPM podcast. We've done several of these now. It's kind of working out pretty good. A lot of folks kind of like what we're doing. But again, if you got ideas or suggestions, call them in so we can get them into the next podcast. Okay, first things first. You know, we are monitoring the classes now via Skype or FaceTime. Working out really well. Some of the couple things that I'm seeing that are popping up in the class have to deal with mannequins. You know, when you do a head tilt chin lift, I'm watching students bring the head back, in some cases not even bringing the head back, covering the mouth and just blowing. Well, if you don't pinch off the nose, the air is going to go in the mouth and right back out the nose, especially the fact they're not even doing a head tilt. So remember, it's pinch the nose, use the nose as a handle, bring the head back, that's head tilt, and chin lift, remember, is up and away. Pull up this direction. Some students are actually pushing the mouth closed. Well, that won't work. So remember, pull up and away to open that mouth so you can get a good seal and a good ventilation. Okay, part two of this is with bag valve mask. Still seems to be a problem. Remember, pointy side to nose. Cover the patient's face. Notice where the mannequin is in relation to me. I am at the head of the mannequin. We're seeing students on the side doing compressions and then picking up a bag valve mask. This is a two-person technique. A one person can use a pocket mask, but not a bag valve mask. Okay? 2 fingers on the top, 3 fingers on the jaw, head back, and you can actually see the chest rising. Okay? So, easy to use, but remember the positioning here. Bring the head towards you so that you are at the head of the patient or mannequin. Okay, let me zoom in here a little bit and let's get some of this other stuff covered. Okay. Remember that your instructor card trumps all your other cards. So if you have a basic life support instructor card, that is your CPR card, that is your first aid card, that would technically be even a heart saver card. So it becomes everything because you are at the highest level of the training. Now, not everybody recognizes that, and we understand that too. So that when we issue your instructor card, which is a hard card, we are also issuing the e-card provider card as well. So you will have both the instructor card and your provider card, so you've got both. We still run into a problem occasionally where somebody says, well, I need a first aid card. Okay, the best way to handle that is issue yourself a first aid card. You can do that via e and issue yourself a first aid card. Because there is no other way to do this. There is no first aid card for you. The instructor card is technically your first aid card. So however you got to handle that. Any other suggestions, I'm open, but that's the best way that I can think. Okay, number 2 on the agenda here is the American Heart Association Instructor Search feature. Well, we're asking you not to belong to that. As a matter of fact, that's kind of a requirement. You cannot belong to the AHA Instructor Search. And here's a short version why. That system does not work very well at all. And we continue to get calls from people saying, I signed up for a class and I got there and the instructor wasn't there and I want my money back. And it takes us about 20 minutes into this conversation of being yelled at when we realize that we have no idea who this person is. They weren't signed up for any of our classes. And then we find out they were signed up on this goofy American Heart Association Instructor Search feature. So in many cases, you, the instructor, never got a notification that a student is signed up. You didn't get the money. We have no idea where the money went. These students are demanding their money back. We can't give them the money back. We never got the money. And so after several of these things, we decided, you know what? We've talked with Hart about this. We've tried to suggest some ideas of how to fix this problem, and they pretty much told us take a hike. So bottom line is, no, you cannot belong to the AHA Instructor Search. If you want to, join a different training center. It literally is that simple. We're not going to put up with the bad PR from this bad software situation. Okay? Enough said about that. As you know, we're always looking for new things to add to the program, things that are relevant, that are important now. We recently added the Stop the Bleed to our first aid programs. Those of you that aren't familiar with how to do that yet, contact Kathy. Get up here so I can show you how to do that as part of the program. There's no cost for that, so you can add that to your class. But that's an important thing, literally as important as CPR, especially with all the bombings and shootings. So Stop the Bleed is part of the first aid program. We're now getting ready to add the Narcan part to the program. You know, a lot of our students in the past have said, well, can we get taught how to use the Narcan, the nasal injector? Can somebody show us how to do that? And we said, well, the health department's kind of doing it. We're not permitted to do it. We'll look into it. And so we did. We checked in with the health department, and the Maryland Department of Health and whatever decided that the program's called the Overdose Response Program, and we are now authorized to do that program. Now, originally they thought we were looking at it just for, say, me to teach my class, and we said no. We've got approximately 600 instructors that we need to get that to them so that they can teach their people as part of their first aid class or even as part of the CPR program. You know, most of these overdoses are in cardiac arrest. It does you no good to squirt it up their nose if they're in cardiac arrest. You need to pump it around the system. So they still need CPR in progress in order for the Narcan to get into the system and work. If they're still breathing slightly, then this works fine. But if the heart stopped, they're going to need CPR along with the Narcan to lock up those opioids and get them back conscious and coherent again. So it's really important in today's world that we know how to do this and we get this out to our people. Right now, we are not going to be issuing Narcan. Down the road, who knows? They've asked us about maybe issuing the Narcan to the folks at the end of the class. Like I said, right now, we're just dealing with the training end of this. We'll revisit that maybe in a year to see whether or not it's something we want to do. But we'll take your input, too, if you think that's something that we should do, to let us know. The Narcan training is going to be held at our instructor gathering. Okay, so remember our instructor gathering is coming up October the 5th at 1 p.m. Same place as it's been all along, Rosedale Gardens, 8037 Philadelphia Road, 21237. Same place we've had it the last couple of years. Great food, great people to work with. But you do need to sign up. So again, if you go into our website, go into the calendar, look for October the 5th, you'll see the instructor gathering listed. Go ahead and sign up and get your name on there so that we know how many people are coming, so we get the number of chairs and the food and everything else ready. Because October will be here before you realize it. Hard to believe that I'm doing a June podcast already. So time is flying by. So again, get yourself in there, get signed up, because a lot of things happening. By the way, the Maryland Narcan group will be there. They'll have a table with samples and stuff as well as teaching. So it's going to be kind of a neat concept, something new we're adding. Okay, we're about to launch our TCF program, Training Center Faculty. What this is a group of folks that have been with us for a long time, good instructors, really good instructors. They're going to be acting as mentors for you. So what we've got is a mapping program that shows every instructor with a little blue dot or a little blue pin, depending on how you look at that. And then say all the little red pins are the training center faculties. And so what we can do with this map is actually look at all the blue dots. Oh, look, there's a red dot in the middle of that. Well, those blue dots around that red dot will be assigned to that training center faculty. And they're there to call you, see if you need any help, what you got coming up, anything they can do to help you, issues with mannequins, tear something down, show you how it works. They know as much as I do about this program. They've been here forever. So again, we're trying to match up these training center faculties with your students out there, not your students, I'm sorry, with you, the instructors out there, so that they can help and make you a better instructor for your students. Okay? So that's something that's just being kind of brought into play now. You will see the mapping program at the gathering again. We will display that, how it looks and how it works. Pretty neat. Other little note here in reference to some questions about the $50 annual membership fee. As you know, we're going on our 29th year. As a matter of fact, in a couple days, we'll be 29 years old. Been a long one. So part of that, we've never charged like a membership fee. A lot of the other training centers do. And on top of the fee, they charge all kind of other crazy things. What our fee goes for us is we're going to put this in a newsletter so you can actually see what all the points are for the bullet points for the fee. But things like all the record keeping we keep, we do the monitors for you via Skype, something along those lines, FaceTime, so that you don't have to drive in here. That's another option that we do. We're one of the largest training centers, so we pull the most information from a lot of people to be able to get you in there teaching. again, class monitors to keep you with the AHA guidelines so they're up to speed. Our phones are open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, so that you can give a call and ask a question. Our e-card class we're offering to bring you back up to speed for e-cards. We held our first one the other day. The instructors brought in their laptops and tied into our Wi-Fi. We sent them card. They actually were able to manipulate that card and send it to someone. So, in some cases we can talk about AHA videos, we can talk about our videos, telling you on the phone how to do it. But if you're actually here with your laptop and we work you through the how to do this, you tend to remember. So sometimes that's a much better way to learn. I know for me, hands-on skills, I learn much quicker. And again, CPR in general, hear, see, do. You learn much quicker and better. So we're going to be posting more of those. If you'd like to attend those classes, again, they're free. Sign up online and come on in and take an e-class. Let's see what else we got here. Monthly podcasts, of course, we're doing one of those now. Adding things to your instructor programs, like I said, the Stop the Bleed, Bloodborne, it's all free that we add into your program so you can teach those. Let's see, general liability and professional liability. You're covered when you complete our class and you become an instructor. We cover you on an umbrella policy that covers you under general liability and professional liability. Now, professional liability is malpractice. And those of us in the medical world are familiar with that, but it looks for negligence, and that protects you from that. I don't know of any other training center that offers those two things to you automatically so that you're covered. If you've got your own business, would not be probably a bad idea to pick up some of your own insurance for your own company. If you got questions about that, give me a call. I'll let you know who our agent is, who has worked with us and is a fantastic agent. Okay. Let's see what else here. And the mentoring program, which I just talked about, is something that we're just starting. I don't know of any other training center out there that has a mentoring program that works with their instructors, again, to make them better instructors. Remember, everything we're doing is to make your classes better. You have more students, more people being trained. So everything we do is really about you. Okay, next item on the agenda, Western Maryland classes. We've got a Western Maryland class coming up. It's a large class. We've got several instructors already going. Could always use a few more. It's July the 12th. And if you're interested in helping out with that class, give Renee a call. That's button 1 when you call in. When you get our video, not our video, I'm sorry, our answering machine comes on, you hit number 1, and that takes you to Renee. And she's the one scheduling the instructors for that class. So we could always use a few more. E-card classes, I mentioned that earlier. This is very successful, works very well. And again, check our calendar for those e-card dates and feel free to attend that. Class monitors, as you know, we're doing not only your instructor renewal, so you're demonstrating your bag valve, master, adult, infant skills, those type things. We're actually monitoring your actual CPR class. Now, some people are saying, well, I don't have a class scheduled. Well, here's an example. Our one instructor got in touch with her sister and said, hey, I need you to come over here. I'm going to teach you a CPR class. So she put her son and her sister into a class right there in her living room, set her camera up, did a Heart Saver adult-only CPR class for them, had all the material there, the video, the mannequins, did an absolutely fantastic class. And so, Robin, here's one to you. That was a great class. And thanks for letting me share the fact that this is an easy thing to accomplish. You don't have to wait till you get 500 students in a huge hall, a couple folks, and do your class the way you would normally do it. Okay? That's pretty much everything for our June podcast. Not a real long one, but again, as you see things or hear things, feel free to call us and check in with us so that we can keep you up to speed. And certainly if you got ideas for our next podcast, give us a shout. And we'll go ahead and get that into our next podcast. Okay, so listen, thanks always, be safe. And again, thank you for watching our PPM June podcast.